Hi everyone, my name is Katie and welcome to my video on the Police Inspector application process. In this video, we'll be focusing specifically on the Police Inspector application process, but to be even more precise, we'll be looking at the Police Inspector core competencies. Okay, so before we delve into the Police Inspector core competencies, let's take a look at what the direct entry route actually is. The direct entry program has been set up by the police to allow candidates from outside of the police force to apply for a position of inspector or sergeant without having worked within the police before. You apply for direct entry in the same way that you would for a job application, filling in a form online and then completing a number of steps including a telephone interview and assessment centre. Here's where it gets really tricky though. Unlike regular assessment centres, the direct entry assessment centre takes place over a period of 2 to 3 days, meaning that you'll be tested much more extensively than you would be for another job position. Likewise, passing the assessment centre doesn't mean that you are immediately hired by the police. Once you've passed, you'll take part in an extensive training course designed to get you up to speed with the requirements of a police inspector. As you might have guessed, only the most elite of candidates are allowed on the direct entry course. In order to gain a place, you'll need to match the police inspector core competencies. Just like the normal police application process, the direct entry course makes full use of police inspector core competencies. If you are not familiar with this term, core competencies essentially refers to a set of key behavioural characteristics which are used as a guideline for how employees should act in the workplace. This can differ between sectors. For example, if you are working in an art shop, one of your core competencies might be the ability to sell products to customers. Obviously, this is not going to be the case when working for the police, who will use different core competencies, but it's just to give you an idea of the type of behaviour aspects we're looking for. Core competencies are not just important for when you are working on the job, but are also important during the application process. At every stage, the assessors will be judging you based on how well you meet the core competencies. Every answer will be carefully analysed to judge whether you have demonstrated a knowledge and awareness of the competencies. The police inspector core competencies ensure that inspectors working within the police force has clear standards to follow and understands what is expected of them. So the first of these core competencies is emotional awareness. Emotional awareness is all about having the ability to understand others and yourself. As an inspector, you will need to be someone who can engage with and listen to others, making a concentrated effort to understand their needs and perspectives. It's also important that inspectors can manage their emotions in difficult situations and understand why you are making certain decisions. By acting in an emotionally sensitive way, you can ensure that you are meeting the cultural demands of different groups of people and dealing with them in the right manner. Having empathy is integral to police work. Emotional awareness is important as it has a big impact on the way that the public perceive the police. Not only will emotional awareness help you when dealing directly with the public, but it will also have an impact on your relationship with your colleagues. The better you can work as part of the team, the better service you can provide the general public. So a person with good emotional awareness will treat everyone whom they meet with tolerance and respect. They will remain calm in tense situations, especially when provoked. Understand which situations are likely to trigger an irrational or emotional response from themselves and others. Make sustained efforts to understand the thoughts and feelings of others. Be able to empathise. Promote the values of respect and diversity. And take responsibility for the emotional well-being of others. Next we have taking ownership. Taking ownership and responsibility is a very important quality for police inspectors to have. It's essential that you can hold yourself accountable for mistakes that are made without letting this hold you back from taking necessary risks. As an inspector, you are a decision maker. Crime and crime solving is an unpredictable field where things could change in an instant. Thus, not all of your decisions will work out, but you must be prepared to back the decisions that you've made, with clear rationale. When mistakes are made, it's important to learn from the experience, accept feedback, and reflect in order to improve future practice. Taking ownership also means having the confidence to make tough decisions which won't necessarily be within your comfort zone. It's about taking responsibility and generating confidence in your decision-making abilities from both others and yourself. So a person who takes ownership will identify and respond proactively to problems, ensure that their decisions are based on the fundamental principle of public service, take feedback into account to improve the quality of their work, take responsibility for their actions, encourage others to also take responsibility for their own decisions and behaviour, hold themselves accountable for the behaviour of their team, behave in a way befitting of a role model within the police force, help others to improve their performance via constructive feedback, and finally, taking responsibility for initiating improvements across the entire police force. Next, working collaboratively. Working collaboratively is extremely important within the police. In order to ensure the safety of the public, it's vital the police can work as an efficient and organised unit. As such, police inspectors and employees must be able to look past personal disagreements and feelings and work together to produce the best possible outcome for the public. As an inspector, it's important that you can work with your colleagues to build long-lasting and amicable relationships. This extends to building relationships with external operators and other public sector organisations, all of whom could be extremely useful. By working with these organisations, inspectors can ensure that they are sharing and receiving good knowledge and essential insights, thereby increasing the capacity of all parties to serve the general public. It's a known fact that the demands on the police service are increasing every single year and becoming more diverse in nature. This means that the police need to think ambitiously about how they solve problems and identify solutions which don't just help a minority, but work for all concerned parties. By ensuring that everyone is provided with the same level of safeguarding and protection, the police can guarantee the trust and respect of the public. So a person who can work collaboratively can work in a cooperative manner to get tasks completed with the help of colleagues, project an approachable persona, thereby encouraging the confidence of colleagues, listen to the views and opinions of others and make a concerted attempt to understand their perspective, treat others in a respectful and fair manner, taking their viewpoints into consideration, and work without making assumptions about different people based on previous experience, and treats every person as a unique circumstance, i.e. case. So next we've got deliver, support and inspire. As an inspector, it's essential that you understand the core vision and values of the police force and are able to use these during your day-to-day operations. So let's have a look at all three terms and what they mean. So to delivery means providing what is promised to the public, in this case safeguarding and protection. The better you can meet all of the competencies, the better service you can provide. Supporting applies to both the public and your colleagues. As an inspector, you won't just need to provide guidance and assurance to the general public, but also to your own staff. Police employees are role models, and this is especially true for higher ranking police employees, such as inspectors. Not only are police expected to set an example for the public by behaving in a law-abiding manner, but for their own colleagues too. As an inspector, you will be expected to motivate your staff to perform to the highest possible standards. The person who can deliver, support and inspire will have a good understanding of how their role fits into the wider spectrum of police work, take a conscientious approach to their work, make a concerted endeavour to overcome obstacles which could prevent delivery of the best possible service, stay up to date with relevant changes and procedural guidelines, act as a role model for police staff and for the public, motivate and inspire other police employees to achieve exemplary standards of work and behaviour, Utilise strategic and logical thinking to ensure that the police force can provide the best possible service to the wider public. Next, we've got critical analysis. Critical analysis is extremely important for police inspectors. As an inspector, you will be required to analyse a wide number of fields, including data, evidence, reports and statements, in your quest to make the UK a safer place to live. In doing so, you will need to draw from the experience that you have picked up in the police and any evidence available to try and glean a concise overview of the facts. As always, an evidence-based approach is the best one to take. Police inspectors will use critical analysis on a daily basis as a way of dealing with the issues that land on their desk. Many of these issues will be far too complex to be resolved without the use of in-depth critical analysis. As you can see, working as an inspector will require you to be logical, reliable and responsible decision maker. So a person who can critically analyse will identify when and where issues need to be critically analysed, assess information in an efficient and logical manner, solve problems using logic and reasoning, make decisions which are in line with the police values and ethics, understand how to balance action with reasoning, be willing to explore alternative and creative problem-solving methods, recognise that certain decisions could constitute or cause significant change within the workplace, and that you may need to justify these decisions to higher-ranking employees than yourself. Finally, we've got innovative and open-minded. So in order to work as an inspector, it's imperative that you can take an innovative and open-minded approach. Inspectors should always be looking to improve, and this means that you must constantly be on the lookout for new methods and improvements on your current working practice. When working for the police, it's important that you can take a flexible and adaptable approach. The police force are constantly changing their methods in order to keep up with crime, meaning that an open mind will go a long way to helping you in this position. So a person who is innovative and open-minded will welcome new ideas, ways of working and creative solutions, share suggestions and feedback with colleagues, take a flexible approach to problems, learn from their experiences and enter each situation without judgment or preconception, take the lead in implementing new and creative working practices which could have a radical and positive impact on the way the police force functions. Encourage others to think flexible and discuss their ideas. And finally, to do their utmost to ensure that the police is up to date as possible so that they can provide the best possible service to the public. Okay, for more examples of core competencies, please check out our How to Become blog, which I've given you the link below this video. And this includes several more core competencies for becoming a police inspector. So that's it from me. I hope you liked the video and found something of interest. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It is free and you will be kept up to date with upcoming police videos, including the application form and eligibility criteria. If you like the video, don't forget to like the video, share the video and leave me comments and feedback. Thanks for watching and I wish you all the very best of luck.